So hopefully you can hear me now. Again, my name is Stephanie Simmons. I am from the General Deductions section. I work in production processing, direct deposits, reissuance, and direct deposit returns. We have a few different topics we're going to cover today that include direct deposit returns, direct deposit deletes, direct deposit reversals, stop payments from direct deposit returns, avoiding direct deposit errors, the direct deposit query, direct deposit fraud, the garnishment updates, and general deduction update. So the first topic we're going to cover are direct deposit returns. What are returns? A direct deposit return is a rejected direct deposit transaction as reported by the financial institution. These items appear on our ACH NOC report, which is a notification of change report. The reports for OSC's review each morning. Each morning, the direct deposit team reviews and processes the direct deposit returns by issuing a paper check to the employee's preferred address listed in PayServe and notifying the agency payroll office of this return. Employees should expect to receive a paper check by mail within 3 to 5 business days. Some reasons that we see these returns, the most common reasons we see are employees closing their bank accounts, incorrect routing or account numbers being entered into PayServe, an account being frozen by the financial institution. This is an example of the agency notification email we send out each morning for direct deposit returns. These emails include the employee's name, an employee identification number, the check date, the amount, the last 4 digits of the account number being returned, and the reason for the return. Please keep in mind that if an address is updated after the notification, the Update Payroll Options tab should also be verified that the preferred address is selected. Our next topic is direct deposit deletes and reversals. Direct deposit deletes and reversals are processed per agency request when an overpayment is identified for an employee with direct deposit that is off the payroll with no future checks anticipated. The agency will complete a request for direct deposit reversal or delete with the form AC 3197. This form is emailed to DD returns and reversals at osc.ny.gov email. The direct deposit team will process the delete or reversal through the ACH clearinghouse. This reversal delete will pull back the employee's entire direct deposit. There are no partial reversals of a direct deposit. If the employee is entitled to a portion of these funds, that portion can be separated and reissued to the employee via an AC 230 form once the direct deposit reversal has been completed successfully. A delete is when a direct deposit is being pulled back prior to the posting of the employee's account. The National Automated Clearinghouse Association operating guidelines state direct deposit delete requests can be processed from the time of the check is confirmed up until 2 business days prior to the check date. A reversal is when we're pulling back the funds after the funds have been posted to the employee's account. The National Automated Clearinghouse Association operating guidelines state reversal requests must be processed no later than 5 business days after the check date. Please keep in mind if an employee's account is short the amount of the reversal by even a penny, this reversal will be denied by the financial institution for insufficient funds. If a reversal is denied, our team will notify the contact person listed on the AC 3197 form. This just updates us. Deletes can be processed up to 2 days prior to the check date, and again, reversals can be processed no later than 5 business days after the check date. Here is a copy of the AC 3197 form, which is the direct deposit stop and reversal request. Again, this form should be completed by the payroll office and emailed to the DD returns and reversals at osc.ny.gov email. This form should include the agency code, the agency name, agency contact person, the agency phone number, the New York State employee ID of the employee name, a check date, the direct deposit amount, the reason for the reversal, and this form should also now include the advice number, along with the printed name of the contact person requesting it, the signature, and the date. After the successful recovery of the funds, an email notification is sent to the agency contact listed on the submitted AC 3197 form. This notification informs the agency of the successful recovery and instructs the agency to complete the AC 230, which is the report of check returned for refund or exchange, or an AC 1476. Once these forms have been processed, the employee's year-to-date earnings are updated in Payroll to ensure accurate reporting details. If for any reason a direct deposit return is reissued as a paper check and the employee does not receive that paper check, a stop payment can be requested by the agency payroll office by emailing the DD returns and reversals at osc.ny.gov email. Avoiding direct deposit errors. The employee's name should not be used to search for the employee. This leads to entry errors and potential for an employee's direct deposit account to be entered under the wrong employee ID. Searches should be performed by using the employee ID. Currently have a PIP bulletin 015 posted, but we will be posting a new updated DD bulletin that will be announced in the Payroll Users Group newsletter. There's also a verification query agencies should be running each pay cycle. First, we'll go over the steps of entering the direct deposit, and then we'll come back to the query, and I'll show you an example of how to run that. So entering a direct deposit, the current year's agency submission schedule can be found on the Payroll Services webpage under Job Aids. Please note that on the first day of entries, normally a Thursday, the entries should not be made before noon. To avoid fraud, the AC 2772 information should be verified completed on the form prior to entry, including the employee's last and first name, along with the middle initial. This should include the verification that the spelling on the form matches what is present in PayServe. Should also include the employee's employee ID, the phone. OSC does not specify what number the employee must provide. However, if the phone number does not match what the agency has on record for the employee, OSC recommends the agency ensure all other employee identification information provided matches what they have on record. OSC recommends the agency contact the employee at the file to verify the employee submitted the direct or direct deposit change request. The employee's work email. Most New York State employees have an agency-assigned email address. OSC recommends agencies ensure the work email address provided matches what the agency has on record for the employee. When replying to direct deposit requests via email, OSC recommends agencies are cautious and send a separate email using the employee's work email on record, as fraudulent direct deposit submissions are most often received via email or fax. The employee's home address should also be verified. The home address field has been added to assist agencies in verifying the employee's identity. Agencies should verify the address provided on the form matches the address in PayServe for the employee. This field should not serve as a method for change of address and should be used for verification purposes only. Again, these steps that we just looked at are very important. We've received a very large increase in direct deposit fraud lately, and if these fields are verified, it really helps prevent that fraud. For example, we've had recently some agencies receive direct deposit forms via Gmail from someone that they knew within their office. Instead of verifying with that employee, they saw the name, recognized it, and processed the form. These forms were fraud and a mistake and shouldn't have been processed. In Section B of the form, the balance account information is required. Participating in full direct deposit requires a balance account. This account will receive any excess funds after all direct deposit distributions are issued. While listed first in the form, The balance account designated will be last in the deposit order when funds are distributed. Non-payroll amounts such as travel reimbursements will also be posted to the balance accounts. If no other accounts are listed, the full net pay will be deposited into the balance account. The employee's name must appear on the account. Section C is additional account information. This is optional. Up to 7 additional fixed amounts or percentage deposits are allowed. The employee's name must appear on all accounts. If a joint account holder exists, Section E of the form must be completed. A voided check or written verification from the financial institution showing the account number, bank routing number, detailed instructions for entering employee direct deposit account information can be found in payroll manual. Section D of the direct deposit statement options. Go paperless. Employees may check the box to opt out of receiving a printed copy of their direct deposit pay. Once paperless, employees can continue to view their statement through the New York State Payroll Online, NISPO. If an employee chooses to go paperless, the agency must select the Suppress DDP Advice Print checkbox located in the direct deposit information section of the employee's direct deposit page. Section E is authorization. Again, this is required. The joint account holder, if a joint account holder exists for accounts listed in sections B and C, the joint account holder must sign the form in section B of the account in order to recover any salary to which the employee was entitled or that was deposited to the employer. The employee's signature is required. By signing the form, the employee certifies that they understand the instructions, including the authorization for recovery of funds, and authorizes New York State salary payment to be sent to the designated financial institution to be deposited into the specified accounts, as well as all non-payroll amounts, travel expenses, reimbursements, due to them be deposited into the balance account they have designated. The employee's signature also indicates they understand the form supersedes any previous forms that they have submitted and acknowledge that changes may take up to 2 payroll periods to become effective. All AC 270 forms submitted by the employee should be kept on file by the agency. Entering a direct deposit. Agency audit. So here's the query that we mentioned earlier in the slide. This is the name, the LQ underscore DDP underscore audit underscore DD underscore entries is the name of the locked query. The day after all entries are made in PayServe, agencies should run the locked query as a tool of verifying accuracy. When entering search criteria for the locked query, search fields include entered on or after, like department ID, and update by. This will allow the agency payroll officer to search the most recent transactions by the department ID, eliminating results entered by other agencies. For example, employees with multiple jobs. When running the query, if you are attempting to search by all entries for a specific department ID and not by who the update was made by, the percent symbol can be used in the update by field, along with the agency's department ID in the like department ID field and the date updated in the enter on or after field. Identified that was entered there or needs to be taken after the cutoff for a pay cycle listed on the agency submission schedule. The OSC direct deposit team should be contacted as soon as possible to determine if the change can be made before the confirm of that paycheck. What do you do if one of the employees need a direct deposit check reissued? Again, any stop payment or check reissue should contact the DD returns and reversals at osc.ny.gov. You can also copy Amanda or myself on that email, but please include the DD returns and reversals mailbox at all times in case one of us is out of the office. All right, we're going to change topics a little bit right now. We're going to cover some garnishment updates. As part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, in March 2020, the Office of Federal Student Aid temporarily stopped the collection of defaulted loans. We are continuing the status of federal student loans, and we are prepared to update these garnishments for the February 2022 checks. And then just a little update on general deductions. This came along with 9.2. General deductions are now entered on the general deduction panel in PayServe. Please refer to Payroll Bulletin P.E.008 for questions regarding the changes to the general deductions with the 9.2 upgrade. The only exception to the deductions being entered in the general deduction data panel is the 403Bs. They are now entered into the savings plan panel. The create general deduction panel is no longer used for deduction entries. Yep, if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them into the chat. Hopefully everyone can hear us right now.
Wait, let's see. Kelly just typed one into us that if an employee wants 100% of their pay and all OT to go to one account and travel to go to one account, how would they fill this out?
They want 100% of their OT to go to one account and they want the travel to go to a different account?
Yeah. How would they fill this out?
That wouldn't be possible. That wouldn't be a possibility. So if an employee has one account, the balance account is required to be that account. That would be the account their travel would be sent to as well. There would be no way for them to have a balance account separate from where their travel would be sent to.
This is Jen Corbett again. I wanted to thank you all for, joining us for this presentation, and thanks Stephanie for doing the presentation. I want to apologize though. We did have a little bit of issue with some of the audio. We will try to clean that up as best we can, and it will be posted on the website when fall conference is over towards the end of next week. We will leave this session up for a few more minutes in case there are any more questions. Thank you all. Have a good day.